bases dropped on a Friday, Freestyle Friday here at Soccer Down here, and Jarrett is over there, and John is here. And thanks for hanging out with us as you have, as Jason is on the mend, and we get ready for the match with Austin. So what we're
doing... Can you believe we haven't burned this place down yet?
Well, I mean, hey, it is the Caddies at Bushwood, so it was a very successful movie.
The Caddies had 15 minutes. We had 2 weeks.
I know. This has been fun. And, trying to sit there and set the world on fire as best we can. And speaking of setting the world on fire, we have the morning kickoff brought to us by our friends at Kickoff Coffee, kickoffcoffeeco.com. Before we get into the weekend whip-around, patent pending, trademark on the way. There you go. And reminder, thanks again to everybody who has invested in Kickoff Coffee to start off your mornings or something to nurse you through the day. Whenever you like to have your coffee, Kickoff Coffee CO on the socials. It is on the Bird app, the FaceBase, and the Gram, as the kids say. Use the code Soccer Down Here 15, and you, sir, madam, family, can get 15% off of your purchase when it comes to everything at Kickoff Coffee. Reminder that 10% of all the proceeds go toward youth development for soccer programs and the sport that we love a whole lot and talk about every single day here at SDH. And so what I wanted to do this morning, and Jarrett, feel free to chime in.
I will.
This is more of a breaking news element here for the morning kickoff. Former FIFA president Sepp Blatter and France football legend Michel Platini were both cleared of corruption charges by a Swiss court Friday, and this came out about 4:15 in the morning Eastern time. Blatter led FIFA for 17 years, was cleared of fraud by the Federal Criminal Court in the southern city of Bellinzona. Platini, the former French national team captain and manager, was also acquitted of fraud. Background on the story. Prosecutors accused Blatter and Platini of unlawfully arranging for FIFA to pay the Frenchman 2 million Swiss francs, or a little over $2 million bucks. Back in 2011, the prosecutors had asked the court to impose suspended 20-month prison sentences on both men and compel them to repay FIFA basically 2.25 million Swiss francs. So it'd be like, 2.25 million, so a little bit of interest there. The case meant that Blatter ended his reign as FIFA president in disgrace, and this is Reuters' copy that we're going with here. Wrecked Platini's hopes of succeeding him after he was banned from football when the affair came to light. Blatter, 86, had said the 2 million franc payment followed a, quote, gentleman's agreement between the pair, end quote, when he asked Platini to be his technical advisor back in 1998. Platini worked as a consultant for 4 years with an annual salary of 300,000 Swiss francs, the most FIFA could afford because of money troubles the organization had at the time, Blatter told the court. The rest of Platini's $1 million per year salary was to be settled at a later date. Platini, in a statement, I want to express my happiness for all my loved ones that justice has finally been done after 7 years of lies and manipulation. The truth has come to light during this trial. I kept saying it. My fight is a fight against injustice. I won a first game. Motives for the alleged payment were clear. Although the two men met in 2010, discussed upcoming elections for the FIFA presidency in 2011. Prosecutors said the oral agreement between the two men for Platini to be paid 2 million francs later for his consultancy work never existed. Described it as an invention. Payment emerged following a huge investigation launched by the DOJ into bribery, fraud, and money laundering at FIFA in 2015, which triggered Blatter's resignation. Both officials banned in 2015. Platini also lost his job as UEFA president. Said the affair was a deliberate attempt to thwart his attempt to become FIFA president in 2015, period, end paragraph, end story. So, yeah, Sepp Blatter, Michel Platini, cleared fraud by the Federal Criminal Court.
Okay.
Yeah. So just once again, if we see what goes on with FIFA and Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini, and so the courts didn't do what they thought that they were going to be able to do, and so Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini, we now await their next move in the soccer world. Sepp Blatter at the age of 86. It will be interesting to see what his next move is. Platini, I'm sure, will be chasing after things in Europe and job titles and things like that. So that's our morning kickoff. It's just more of a breaking news element this morning involving Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini. Kickoffcoffeeco.com. Kickoff Coffee CO on the Twitters, on the Face Space, and on the Gram. Once again, thanks for investing. Thanks to everyone who's been investing, and thanks to help them out so far. Soccer Down Here 15 is your code. And once again, reminder: 10% of all the proceeds go to help youth development for soccer that is attached to Kickoff Coffee. So thanks again to Kickoff Coffee, and thanks to Sepp Blatter and Michelle Platini for giving us the story that never seems to end.
I can't decide if Sepp Blatter is that guy who's going to just like lay low now because he's 86 and just chill out with all of his money.
I don't know.
If he's that dude who's gonna have to keep working because he's like a shark in water, and if he stops moving, he dies.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's just me. I think that it's the latter. It's the latter for Blatter.
There you go.
I was a reach. It was.
Oh, well done. It was a good reach.
Okay, it was quick.
You didn't overextend. You stretched ahead of time. It's a good reach.
Yes. Okay. And especially early in the morning when you're stretching out, you're trying to make sure that you pace yourself through your day, that you don't strain anything early. Went ahead and did that. Jarrett, you know what time it is?
Is it time to whip it around?
Yes, it is. And whip it good shall. And we actually have Friday night football tonight.
Ooh.
We have 3 matches tonight that are a part of Rivalry weekend here. And we'll start with Philly and DC, which may set the world back a couple of years when it comes to soccer, but okay. Right now, your juice boxes, Philly at 730, minus 147. Your draws a plus 286. DC is a plus 388. Fun facts for this one. The Union have 11 wins in 15 MLS meetings with DC United since the start of the 2016 season, 2 draws and 2 losses. Only RSL, with 12 versus Colorado, has more wins against an opponent in that time. The Union's goalless draw at Columbus on Sunday was the 8th draw in their last 11 matches. 2 wins and a loss. And the second straight match in which the Union failed to find the net. Philly has went 3 straight MLS games without scoring. Philly last went 3 straight, if I could read my modifiers correctly. Philadelphia last went 3 straight in MLS games without scoring in August and September 2013. DC United snapped a 6-match winless run with 2 draws and 4 losses in spectacular fashion in the drunken madness that was the 5-3 victory against Orlando City. It was DC's first 5-goal performance on the road since a 5-2 win at Colorado in May of 2000. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
Man, I'm tempted to go draw here. Just Philadelphia can't seem to get over that hump, no matter who they play.
Right.
DC United, at this point, it's the Taxi Fontas show. And then everybody else is just kind of, congratulations, you're all Gummo marks. He is Groucho. He is Harpo. He's Chico. He's all of them except for like Gummo and Zeppo, and that's everybody else. And I'm tempted to just take the draw here that they're going to get on the board against Philadelphia because Taxi Fontas is just living on another planet right now. In Philadelphia, I think we'll break that scoreless duck, but I think it's like a 1-1, 2-2 game, and Jim Curtin gets mad again.
Oh, I'm sure Jim Curtin will get mad and give him like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think Philly at home. I think
that's fair. That's not a bad shout.
I just think Philly.
He's not great.
No. And news out of Philly, it looks like Sergio Santos is going to be traded to FC Cincinnati, otherwise known as
Philadelphia 2.
Well, but remember the Union 2 are playing in Next Pro, so I don't know if we could even say that.
Philadelphia 3.
There you go.
The artist formerly known as Bethlehem Still.
Yes, something like that. Yeah. Headed to FC Cincinnati in a trade, and this is from our friend Jonathan Tannewald. Union's return is expected to be $300,000 in allocation money this year and up to $700,000 for performance incentives next year. Hasn't played for the Union since May the 29th when MLS entered its summer break. Soon after that, Santos headed to Chile to finish his U.S. green card paperwork, had to surrender his passport when he arrived, and has been stuck in Chile ever since. Now that the paperwork is finally done, Santos is expected to arrive Friday in Cincinnati. Leaves the Union 22 goals, 13 assists in 89 matches since debuting since the start of 2019. So Sergio Santos is heading to Hell is Real, and it might be hell. It might be real in the form of Cincinnati. But Sergio Santos is heading to Cincinnati for twice the price that Alejandro Pozuelo is going from Toronto to Inter Miami.
That's more of like, that still feels more like a salary dump of proportions where we're saying, hey, we need to get Pozuelo off our books so we can bring in, these signings. And he's a free agent anyway, so we'd rather get a little bit of something than a whole lot of nothing at the end of the year, to be fair.
Yes.
I don't want to trash Toronto too much.
No, we do that a lot. 10 o'clock, El Tráfico, LAFC and LA Galaxy at the bank. LAFC is a minus 115. Your draws a plus 288. LAG is a plus 275. Your facts of note from this one. Galaxy have 6 wins over LAFC in MLS play, the most wins by any team over LAFC in league competitions, including playoffs. LAFC's 21.4% MLS win rate against the Galaxy is its lowest against any team it's faced more than 3 times. LAFC suffered just its 4th loss of the season Saturday, losing 1-0 at Vancouver. Did I laugh out loud? On an 89th minute goal by Andres Cubas. It was the first time all season LAFC was outscored in the second half of a match, and just the second time they failed to score. Galaxy's 4-0 win over CF Montreal, soon to be Impact, probably, maybe, possibly on Monday, continued their up-and-down season. The Galaxy have not posted the same result in consecutive matches in their last 12 games. 5 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses, with their last win streak coming in early April against Portland and LAFC. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
I say LAFC. It's a great win by the Galaxy against Montreal. We kind of told y'all what might happen because Montreal had to travel a very, very, very long way to go play in LA. And they looked a little sleepy, making that West Coast swing. But I think LAFC's been healthier for this one than they were against Vancouver, although I'm going to sit here and laugh at anyone who complains about coming to a game shorthanded. They are not as shorthanded as they were going to that one. We'll see who is available for them. I don't know if Chiellini or Bale. I don't think Bale is expected to be, but we'll see who gets. They'll probably get the walkout at halftime if nothing else. And I like LAFC in this game because I do not trust the Galaxy. They are just so woefully inconsistent.
Yeah, I'm going to go drunken madness draw, take the over with LAFC and LA Galaxy. I think that with the Galaxy scoring and the relationship that we're seeing these days with Chicharito and the Bishop, Dejan Joveljic, you're going to see them score. I think that LAFC is going to score. Therefore, really my play is the over, first and foremost, whatever total you think you can get. And I think it's going to be drunken madness at the bank, just for those over-under numbers. Over-under 2.5 is a minus 197. 3.5 is a plus 127. 4.5 is a plus 281. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 4.5, so somewhere in there. So 3.5 a plus 127, 4.5 a plus 281. I'll go drunken madness El Tráfico. Zlatan will score again. We'll hear John Strong go, "Oh, come on!" And I think that's how we'll go. It'll be a drunken madness draw, but my number one play in this one is take the over. Late night, you want to talk MLS After Dark. Vancouver hosting Minnesota United. Vancouver at a plus 123. Your draw is a plus 256. Minnesota United is a plus 206. Fun facts here. The 9 meetings between Vancouver and Minnesota have seen each team with 3 times plus what? I'm trying to read sentence structure here. The 9 meetings between Vancouver and Minnesota United in Major League Soccer have seen each team with 3 times plus play out 3 draws. The Whitecaps.
That's not good sentence structure, but carry on.
The Whitecaps won the last meeting 2-1, a 2-1 home victory in October 2021, though neither team has been able to record consecutive wins against the other. After losing 6 of its first 8 games, the Whitecaps have made a remarkable turnaround. This is from Major League Soccer, their own words. Just 2 losses, 6 wins, 2 draws in their last 10. Since May the 8th, Vancouver has collected 20 points, more than any other team in Major League Soccer in that time. Minnesota United has recorded consecutive 3-2 victories, each after leading 3-0, following a win over RSL on Sunday. Since the beginning of April, Minnesota has won all 4 matches in which they've scored 3 times, but just once in the 10 matches in which they didn't. 8 losses. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
This is a weird one because Vancouver's been rolling. Minnesota's scrapped out 2 wins. Both of them were really dodgy late. Give me Vancouver at home because Minnesota has 2 good wins, but neither of them have been convincing late in games, and they have this tendency to explode at the end of games. Like last 20 minutes of the game, if the game was 70 minutes long, Minnesota would be a much happier, heart healthier place. But unfortunately, it's 90 minutes. I think that will make a difference.
Vancouver's a plus 123. Your draw's a plus 256. Minnesota United's a plus 206. I'm with you. I like Vancouver in this one. And Nick Alifi's continued worship of Vanni Sartini continues.
Yes.
A lot of action on Saturday. And remember, it's a quick turnaround for all of that because you got games in the midweek on the 12th and the 13th. So it's going to be a very, very busy week with midweek weekend. NYC and the Revolution, 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. NYC is a minus 154. Your draw is a plus 305. The Revs are a plus 388. A plus 388. This one is at Yankee Stadium, and it is a 108 kickoff. Fun facts. NYCFC eliminated Supporters Shield winning at New England in last season's playoffs, winning a penalty shootout after the 2-2 draw in the conference semi. NYC has won only one of its last 5 regular season meetings with the Revs, 3 losses, though the lone win did come at home last August. NYC winless in 4 straight games following the 2-2 draw with Atlanta United on Sunday, 3 draws and a loss. NYC has conceded in all 4 matches after going a club record 6 straight games without allowing a goal. New England's unbeaten run extended to 10 following a 2-2 draw with FC Cincinnati on Sunday, 4 wins and 6 draws. The Revs can equal the longest single-season unbeaten run in club history, having previously gone 11 straight without a defeat in 2019 and back in 2005. Jarrett Smith, what say you?
Revs. All the Revs on the road. NYC's got some stuff. They got to get personal with Jesus on some stuff and got to get right. And the Revs, if nothing else, I think it's at least a draw, but I think the Revs take it. Give me the Revs.
And with that number, I think that a lot of folks might be following your advice there at a plus 388. The Revs on the road at Yankee Stadium in that one. For some strange reason, I think that it's probably just because it's pinball and pinball intimidates me in general. I'm going to go with I'll go with NYC, and I know that they're minus 154.
They're due.
Yeah, well, I just think that playing at Yankee Stadium drives folks crazy, and I just anticipate Bruce Arena on the touchline behind the sideboards in his dress black, sitting there and gesticulating wildly, very, very early in this match. But that's just me. Yeah. Cascadia is at 4:30 in Seattle, and we got to talk to Nico Moreno about it yesterday, so you can catch that conversation the Thursdays with Nico on the network. Seattle and Portland. Seattle minus 119. Your draw is a plus 280. Portland is a plus 296. Fun facts in this one. This one's on Fox and Fox Deportes, by the way, so it's a 4:55 kick. Home team has won only 2 of the last 14 regular season meetings between the Timbers and Sounders. 3 draws, 9 losses, though each team won at home during the 2018 playoffs. Portland's unbeaten in 6 straight regular season matches. At Seattle, 4 wins and 2 draws, the longest such streak at the Sounders in MLS history. Seattle's turnaround continued Saturday with a 2-0 win at Toronto, the team's 6th win in its last 9 games, 1 draw and 2 losses. The Sounders have yet to put together much defensive consistency. Once again, these are the words of Major League Soccer, however, as they haven't kept clean sheets in consecutive games since May 12 through 16 of 2021. And the Timbers enter their match against Seattle on a season-long 4-match unbeaten run, 2 wins and 2 draws. Portland has scored multiple goals in each of its last 3 matches after doing so just 4 times in its first 16 league games in 2022. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
I'm going to go Seattle. I know you generally throw out the records with a game like this, but Seattle just keeps on keeping on. Ever since they got done with CONCACAF Champions League, they've been able to just make stuff happen. Seattle. I'm not overthinking that one.
Nope, I'm not overthinking it either. I'm going with Seattle as well. Atlanta United and Austin, we're just going to talk about it. We're not going to do any of the facts or anything that's attached to it because there were two pieces of news that came out yesterday that we didn't have the chance to address because the show was over by the time the pieces of news came out. Tyler Wolff goes out on loan and Bobby Shuttleworth retires. So since we haven't had the chance really to discuss either of those here on the air, Tyler Wolff heading to Europe, Bobby Shuttleworth retiring, Jarrett.
It's good for Tyler. He needs to get minutes. He's not going to get him with the twos right now, I don't think, because Jack Collison has some consistency that he's liking, that he's getting productivity out of in the attack, and he's not going to get him with the first team. And with Bobby Shuttleworth, I mean, it's a matter of he wasn't able to lock down the starting spot. You just brought in another goalkeeper. He's going to be third on that list, and he probably doesn't want to go play somewhere else and play for a cellar dwelling team or anything like that. I mean, he might have just decided, okay, cool, this was my last hurrah. I'm done. He's reportedly going to look at a coaching opportunity. So best of luck to Bobby, though.
Yeah,
Bobby had a really good long career. The kind that we talk about guys having whether or not they're successful in their career. Man, it's a successful career. You got to play professionally and support himself playing a game for a decade plus. That's a successful career. However you cut it. And best of luck to him in the next stage of life, if it's coaching, if it's broadcast, if it's being away from the sport entirely, whatever he wants to do, best of luck to it.
Tyler Wolff, for those that may not know, is headed to Belgian side SK Beveren for the 2022-23 season. So I'll be keeping an eye on Tyler Wolff as he's loaned to play in Belgium. And once again, tip our hat and thanks to Bobby Shuttleworth for a great career in Major League Soccer. So for Atlanta and Austin, it is 7 o'clock start, or 7 o'clock is when folks, I guess, are supposed to assemble to their seats. 7:08 kick. So on Bally Sports South. And so just you can get there, get into your seats. And once again, this is one of those that you got to come out with full points. As you're chasing the that playoff spot there, you're chasing the madness that is the Eastern Conference. When it comes,
every home game is a must-win.
Yeah, so I'm going to put out the siren call to all the 17s that you can be in a climate-controlled environment and you can cheer on Atlanta United and hopefully up against a very a talented and crazy Austin team. It'll be the first time that Austin has made their way to Mercedes-Benz. If you haven't figured out your plans, go catch the guys at Mercedes-Benz. 7 o'clock Saturday night, 7:08 kick on Bally Sports South with Kevin, Moe, and Jillian. Belated happy birthday to Jillian Sakovitz, by the way. So Bally Sports South, but be there in person to cheer the guys on as they continue their push to get north of the playoff bar. So it's 7 o'clock, 7:08 on Saturday. Also at 7 o'clock, Charlotte and Nashville. This one should be fun for Willie P. and Jess at Bank of America. Charlotte is a plus 127. Your draw and Nashville, both in the neighborhood of plus 225. The draws is plus 225. Nashville in the room at a plus 222. Fun facts for this one, as we sit here and can hopefully click on things and have computers respond.
Those are good numbers.
Yeah, I know. 7:25 kick. So it is for FS1 and Fox Deportes, the elongated pregame show. It's the long pregame. So 7:25 kick for Charlotte and Nashville on FS1. Nashville has won 3 of its 4 MLS matches against expansion teams with 1 draw, including winning 2 of 3 against fellow newcomers Inter Miami back in 2020. Nashville has never conceded a goal against an expansion side. With Charlotte FC recording their first away win on Sunday, a 2-1 win in Houston, the expansion side sits on 23 points after 19 games. Only 4 of the previous 17 expansion teams since 2005 have reached the 25-point mark within their first 20 MLS games. Nashville's up and down season, once again, these are the words of MLS Soccer, continue with a 2-2 draw in Portland Sunday. Nashville has not recorded the same result in consecutive matches in any of their last 13 games. 5 wins, 5 draws, and 3 losses. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
Give me the draw here. I think Charlotte's going to put up a pretty good fight, and Nashville still has issues, but they cannot seem to put everything away. They still got issues they got to deal with defending, honestly, and it's kind of worrying for them because They're still, they can go as Hani Mukhtar takes them, and they can have some really good performances like that, but they can still occasionally give up weird goals, and a guy like Shinishiki coming off the bench could cause problems. So give me the draw.
Yeah, I'm leaning there as well. I don't know if Nashville scores enough to distance themselves away from Charlotte, so I think that the draw option for me is there as well. So we'll go draw, and an exciting draw for Willie P and Jess at the bank. Also 7:30 on the board. You got a couple at 7:30, and we'll start with CF Montreal, hopefully soon to be Impact, hosting Sporting Kansas City.
Montreal.
Yeah, CF Montreal. Minus 123. Sporting on a draw is a plus 281. Sporting is a plus 312. And yeah, I'm going with CF Montreal soon to be Impact in this one. 7:38 kick. Fun facts: Sporting has lost only one of their last 8 against CF Montreal. 5 wins, 2 draws. With that coming in the last visit in 2018. Sporting's last match against Montreal was a 7-1 home victory in March 2019, the most goals Sporting has ever scored and the most Montreal's ever conceded in an MLS match. CF Montreal suffered a 4-0 defeat at the Galaxy on Monday. 7th time in the club's MLS history that it's been defeated by a margin of 4 or more goals. It goes back to that 7-1, the first 4-goal defeat since the 7-1 loss to Sporting. Sporting suffered its league high 11th loss of the season Sunday in the 1-0 defeat to the Red Bulls. Excluding 2020's expanded playoff, only 4 of the 42 teams that have lost 11 or more of its first 19 of the season went on to make the playoffs. So we'll hang on to that piece of information. And we're both going with CF Montreal, Police be Impact. Also at 7:30, FC Cincinnati and Red Bulls. FC Cincinnati is a home dog, slight plus 164. Your draws are plus 252, and the Red Bulls are plus 152. Fun facts here. FC Cincinnati's 3-match unbeaten run against Red Bulls, 2 wins and a draw, ended in their last meeting, the 1-0 road win by New York in October 2021. Red Bulls have won both of their visits to Cincinnati, also winning 2-0 in May of 2019. FC Cincinnati's 2-2 draw at New England on Sunday took it to 25 points for the season, setting a new club record. I feel like Tom Carnegie at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A new club record for points in a single regular season, surpassing the 24 from the team's inaugural 2019 season. Red Bulls picked up their league-leading 6th away win, beating Kansas City 1-0 on Sunday. New York has recorded more away wins in a season, just 3 times in club history, 7 in 2002, 8 in 2018. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
Cincinnati at home. Red Bull's fallen off a bit on the road after starting out so hot, which is expected. I mean, you were going against the grain in legendary fashion. It's going to come back with regression. So give me Cincinnati at home.
I'll go draw. I just don't think – I think that the defense of Red Bull will frustrate FC Cincinnati, although Lucho Acosta named Player of the Month for last month with all the frustrating things that he gets to do for FC Cincinnati on a regular basis. I'll go draw, and I think that Red Bulls just make it a frustrating day for FC Cincinnati. Your other 7:30 match, Toronto FC and San Jose Earthquakes. Toronto's a plus 117. Your draw's a plus 287. San Jose is a plus 196. And I'll go through all the fun facts. I just don't trust Toronto any farther than I can throw them during any given opportunity. I think that this is probably going to end up being a draw. San Jose unbeaten in its last 3 meetings with Toronto, will win in 2 draws. The last match ending in a 2-2 draw in February 2020. Quakes ended a 3-match losing streak at Toronto on their last visit to BMO Field, winning 2-1 in May of 2019. Toronto FC's 2-0 defeat to Seattle, 8th loss in its last 11 games, 10th loss of the season. Reds have only had more losses at this stage of a season once in the club's MLS history, losing 11 of their first 18 back in 2012. San Jose picked up its 4th win of the season, beating Chicago 2-1 on Sunday. All 4 of the Earthquakes' wins this season have come at home, as they're one of 3 teams, Toronto, Colorado, San Jose, without a road win in 2022. The Quakes have 2 draws and 6 losses. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
Give me the Quakes in a surprise one here, kind of, and because Colorado's consistency has been an issue all year. They've been up and down. Quakes have been better since the Matias Almeida departure. Give me the Quakes.
4 matches to go here on Saturday, 8 o'clock. Chicago and Columbus, which may set soccer viewing back a good decade at least. Chicago plus 106. Your draws a plus 243. and Crew are a plus 256. Looking for fun facts. You'd like for your bookmark to just kind of stay in place once you click on something. Go back to where it was. Don't go back to the absolute beginning. 808 kick at Soldier Field on WGN, Valley Sports Ohio, and on the Plus. The home side has not lost any of the last 17 MLS meetings between the Crew and the Fire, 10 wins and 7 draws, with the visiting team winning just 3 of the 37 meetings between the sides since 2008, including playoffs. Chicago has lost only one of its last 20 home matches against the Crew, 9 wins, 10 draws, avoiding defeat in the last 8. The Fire lost for the 9th time in their last 13 MLS matches, 2 wins, 2 draws, with a 2-1 defeat to San Jose on Sunday. Chicago has recorded back-to-back home wins with 1-0 victories over DC and Philly after winning just one of its first 6 home matches this season, 3 draws and 2 losses. Columbus earned a 2-1 win at Toronto in their last away match June 29th. Second win in its last 3 on the road. The draw was the other option there. Crew have lost only 2 of its last 11 away matches, 3 wins, 6 draws, after losing 24 of the previous 41 road games dating back to early 2019. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
Give me the Crew over Chicago, because Chicago's a mess.
Yes,
give me the Crew.
I'm right there, especially at a plus 250-ish or whatever you'd like to get north of plus 200 when it comes to the Crew. And of course, the way that you and I are discussing it, it probably ends up being another 1-0 win for Chicago. Also on the board in the Central Time Zone at 8 o'clock, Orlando City and Inter Miami gets an 8 o'clock start in Major League Soccer. That's an interesting. So it's an 8 o'clock start, I guess, because of the heat and things. So it's an 8:08 kick at Exploria. That one's on the Plus. It's on the Inter Miami app and Fox 35, My 33, and Unimas. 8th meeting between these two teams, with the Lions holding a slight edge, 3 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. Last 2 meetings have both ended in draws, including 0-0 in the last contest, the first time either team kept a clean sheet against the other. Orlando City suffered the 5-3 loss to DC, the Lions' 5th home defeat of the season after losing 3 regular season home games over the previous 2 seasons combined. 5 goals Orlando allowed equaled the most they've conceded in an MLS home match, 5 versus Chicago back in October 2019. Inter Miami has lost only one of its last 7 matches, 3 wins and 3 draws, following the 1-1 draw in Dallas on Monday. The draw was just the 4th time Miami has avoided defeat in their last 14 away matches, 2 wins, 2 draws, 10 losses, and ended a 4-match scoreless run away from home. I'll go Inter Miami. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
Give me Inter Miami as well.
Yeah, I've just, with Orlando's shaky form,
you can't trust Orlando for a damn thing. So don't trust Orlando ever.
Oh, exactly. So DTO, don't trust Orlando. DTO. 8:30, Houston and FC Dallas in the Copa Tejas. Yeah, and this one's pretty much fairly even. Houston's a slight home favorite at a plus 152. Your draw is a plus 247. And the composite, courtesy of our friends at Odds Portal, have FC Dallas at a plus 167. Fun facts here in this one that friend of the show, Glenn Davis, will be calling. That one's on Sportsnet Southwest 2, TXA 21. Home side has not lost any of the last 16 meetings between the Dynamo and FC Dallas. 8 wins, 8 draws. Dallas, the last away side to win the rivalry, 3-1 in August of 2016. Dynamo won the last meeting between these sides in Houston, 3-2 in September 2021, but haven't won consecutive home matches against Dallas since winning the first 5 meetings there in 2006 and 7, including the playoffs. Houston has lost 8 of its last 11 matches with 3 wins, including the last 2 in a row, a run that began with a 2-1 loss to Dallas back on April 23rd. Dynamo have kept a clean sheet in all 3 wins in that time, lost every time they've conceded a goal. FCD has won only 1 of its last 7 matches, 2 draws, 4 losses following a 1-1 draw against Inter Miami on Monday. Dallas has allowed 13 goals in those 7 games after conceding an MLS low 8 goals after 11 matches this season. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
Give me the draw. I don't trust either one of you. We both need to go inside and think about what we've done.
Yes. Draw. Go sit in the corner. It's a draw. I like that one. Last one on the board. MLS After Dark, 10 o'clock Saturday night. RSL and Colorado Rapids. RSL at a plus 100 even money. Colorado and the draw, by the way, are a plus 257. Fun facts in this last match on the weekend at Rio Tinto. RSL has lost only one of its last 21 home MLS editions of the Rocky Mountain Cup, dating back to September of 2007. 15 wins and 5 draws, including winning the last 2. RSL's 23 regular season wins over Colorado since the start of the 2007 season, 11 draws, 10 losses, are the most by any team against another in that time. RSL drew their last home match, the goalless draw against Columbus, just the 4th time RSL failed to win in its last 17 home matches, 13 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. RSL's kept a clean sheet in 3 straight home matches, something it hasn't done in 4 straight games at Rio Tinto since August and September of 2010. The Rapids have lost 3 of their last 4 matches, the one draw, and the other was the other result, following defeats to Portland and Austin. The Rapids haven't lost 3 straight MLS matches since an 8-game losing streak in March and May 2019. What say you, Jarrett Smith?
For the first time for everything, RSL, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going RSL. That first stat was the one that stuck out to me. Lost only one of their last 21 home matches of the Rocky Mountain Cup, dating back to September of 2007. 15 losses and 5 draws. So that's what I like in that one. So yeah, I'm going with the home side, RSL, there at 10 o'clock. And before we go, one last thing with the weekend whip-around. Schedule involving Atlanta United 2, the 5th match in 15 days. This weekend, they are in Tulsa, where 5 of their next 6, I believe, are on the road. And it starts in Tulsa on the weekend, where Tulsa right now is in 9th at 19 points, Atlanta United 2 at 4-3-12, only 4 points behind. They've gotten points in their last 3 matches. So a tall order for FC Tulsa, but once again going up against Tulsa. But once again, last time out, Tristan Traeger is a problem in USL Championship.
Yeah, he's got 6 goals on the season. Robbie Mertz is tied for the league lead with 6 assists. It's a good problem to have for Atlanta United too. That partnership up top, and then Jackson Conway doing a lot of dirty work has really paid off for them.
So it'll be a fun one to keep an eye on the plus with Atlanta United 2 going to FC Tulsa to start this big road swing. The only home match in their next 5 or 6 is at the end of the month when Las Vegas comes to town in 3 weeks. So that'll be once again fun to watch this weekend with the 2s and FC Tulsa. Jarrett, that's another edition of the Weekend Whip Around.